even zero. I don't know. That's
Be
just my
careful, he'll
opinion.
eat it for you too. Oh, and he didn't even eat it on you, Delbert. No, I said Ben didn't even eat it on you. You left him open and I thought it'd be gone.
Sure got my phone off.
Used to work at the golf course. This guy used to have bags with him every day.
Mm-hmm.
You see, he always gave me some.
Give me a handful.
You don't like Tootsie Rolls?
Mike Hoffman, they say that's not good for his sugar.
Mike Hoffman say that?
Well, he used to tell me that about suckers too.
Don't listen to anything he
Well,
says.
his dad and his brother, Dennis,
It's job security, that's what I tell him.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the East Dubuque City Council meeting, Monday, August 21st. I ask that you please turn off your cell phones during the meeting and please be quiet during discussions. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Twenty-three 0810 call to order.
Belkin.
Here.
Bergmeyer. Dagenhart.
Here.
Mayor Digman.
Here.
Fleur.
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
Roby.
Here.
Attorney Hess.
Here.
23-0811 staff reports. City manager report.
Thank you. The Indian Hills Sewer Extension Grant has been extended till September 30th of 2026. We'll be beginning the process there with a public meeting that'll be called soon, so keep your eye open for that.
All right, thank you. Mayor's report. Couple things. With the extreme heat coming up and the library being temporarily closed, Nancy Slots has once again offered their back room for a cooling center Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., free movies, water, popcorn. So that was very nice of them. Their manager, Stacy, confirmed this with us. So that's a cooling center. The other thing I wanted to throw out there is some thank yous for Wingfest. It was a huge success. Want to thank all the volunteers. Delbert, thank you for helping out. Fire department, our partnership with the Edge Group is, great partnership. Appreciate everything you guys did, and your EMTs that day kept you busy. Public Works, Mark, you guys, your crew, for all what they did for the event, bringing everything up and helping out. Police department, city staff. Basically, it was a total team effort by the city, and I think we put our best foot forward that day. It was a huge success. So thanks to everybody that helped out. All right, alderperson report. Belkin?
I don't have nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Bergmeyer not here. Degenhardt?
Yeah, I got one thing, Mark, up at the end of Rocky Street where the little walk bridge goes across. Some woman stopped at my house the other day that walks that thing all the time, and she said there's a bunch of brush in there. Okay.
On the grades.
That's the only thing I got, Mayor.
Thank you. Fluer?
Nothing.
All right, Meyer?
Mark, something for you. Two neighbors of mine just asked a question, with Montgomery, right kind of there by the church, Macon Hill, there's starting to rot away or the concrete's breaking away. They were wondering if we were gonna do anything on that, or,
This has been brought up before, a couple different times, and I gotta get with, Mike Hoffman. He knows of a company that can, actually come in and take care of them joints.
Okay.
So we're looking into something like that.
okay, all right, I'll let them know you're on it then. Thanks.
That's it. Thank you. Roby?
Yeah, I got a couple things, of course. I know I've talked different times about street storage and property that's a mess and stuff like that, so I went in and I looked up our ordinance. And I talked to a police officer last week on Wednesday, and he was telling me that they're fining people, but they're just paying the fines. Now, I don't know what the cost of our fines are that they're giving these people, but I do know in our ordinance, it states that we can fine anywhere from $100 and not more than $750 for each and every offense. Each day that the violation continues shall be deemed as a separate offense. One of the biggest complaints I get is a property down on Menominee. It's 535, I think it is, Menominee. Back in the alley, it's like a junkyard. They got car parts and everything else down there. That's one of the biggest complaints I get. I get a lot of complaints on car storage on Wisconsin Avenue. If we're fining these guys, can we fine them daily or weekly or whatever to get them to start moving this junk off their property?
Yeah, I wish Luke was here because we just addressed this last week. Luke talked to the judge because I had the same question about some of these properties. When can we escalate the fines? How often can we fine them? So, and Luke talked to the judge about it, but I haven't heard back yet.
Well, in our ordinance, it says daily. I mean, it states it right in our ordinance.
Okay.
The chief confirmed that, with the judge, that he thought it was reasonable for, in cases where people weren't paying, to move the fines up toward the maximum. But I think that also applied to people who weren't, making the changes required.
Right, exactly.
I'll find out and let you know.
Okay. And then I have a complaint on a neighbor of mine. He has a 35-foot travel trailer and enclosed behind a fence. The travel trailer has now got a permanent roof on the pullout. It has a built-in deck on the back, so to me, that's a permanent structure. And there again, according to one of our ordinances, campers are only allowed in recreational places. Now, I know he's using this place as an Airbnb, and I have his thing off of Verbo, which states, the caretaker resides in the adjoining 1.5-acre property where a 35-foot travel trailer is located. This is a secluded area by a 6-foot fence. Behind that travel trailer, he has a dump. I mean, a dump. it's got car parts, it's got mattresses, it's got old wood ladders. I mean, it crawls up the bluff side.
Are you talking about the Quinn property?
Yes. So, is there anything we can do with that? I mean, we're gonna end up having rats with the stuff he's got down in that dump.
You're not allowed to have non-conforming structures, and you're not allowed to have multiple living structures unapproved on a property, so.
Well, and I don't know how he could be staying in that, because has he ever gotten a sewer permit that you know of, Mark? So he couldn't even be on sewer. This spring, we got a terrible odor from down there. I don't know if something was dumped, but we couldn't even be outside for 3 days, and that was in late May, early June. It smelled so bad. I would worry more about sewage and shower water and stuff like that going on the ground.
Okay, you can give me the address of that.
Yep.
I'll talk to the chief.
And one more thing, the hillside across the street, it's a rental property. James from College Lawn owns it. That hillside hasn't been weed eated all year. I know everybody's tired of me talking about cleaning up, but we've got properties down on Wisconsin Avenue too that haven't been touched in months. That's a
They're terrible.
thoroughway coming into East Dubuque. These guys are,
Yeah.
you know,
And the walls falling down.
the walls falling down.
They were notified about that. Nothing got done.
So that, there again, can we escalate the fines so we get these people doing something about these properties?
Yeah, I know, that's why I'd asked Luke to talk to the judge, because I think Luke wanted to find out what the judge thought was reasonable, you know, like, and what isn't reasonable, like, if we fine him every day, you know, or once a week, or whatever.
Well, there again, our ordinance governs our town, so we should be going by what our ordinance says.
You know, if we fine them and then give them a time frame,
30-day notice to
X
get it
number of
cleaned
days
up,
to clean her
whatever.
up and or else, and then we go after them. Hit them where
And
it
to be
hurts.
able to see that they're doing something to
Yeah,
clean up,
yeah,
not
30
just,
days is too long.
That's
It
too
really
long.
is.
Summer's over.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think anytime, you know, when we have a place like that and we issue them a citation and they clean, you know, they're supposed to clean it up, I think a week, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, 30 days.
does anybody know that old Temperley property up on the hill, the one that you and I discussed the other day? Are they living in that that motorhome? That's what I've been told, but I don't know. At one time, there was an extension cord rolled up next to it, run to the house, but I haven't.
Is that place that Bergmeyer's been complaining about
Yes.
too?
Yes.
And what about up on top of the hill, back there where,
Gramercy Park is.
I think the old McDonald house back there, I was told that there's a junk pile back there.
There's quite a few of them around town if you get around looking.
So if each of you just give me the addresses of the places in question here. The chief isn't in tomorrow, but he'll be in after that. And I
And
will,
the Coves.
yep, I will go around with them and look at all the places and come up with a plan for each of the places.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That property that you're talking about up there, that'd be the same, if somebody is living, it would be in the same boat as the one adjacent to you.
Right.
All right.
And I can give you the stuff that I have that shows on his verbal that he is living in the trailer when he rents the house out.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that should do her. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney Hess?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Chief's not here. Public Works?
Just one thing here. We got a bill recently from Gasvoda, and this is in regards to some pump repair. This goes back to when we did our wastewater treatment plant, revamped it and did a lot of work down there. So then we're on the first time for startup for our wet well and our 3 brand new pumps that are in our wet well. And the wet well had 3 pumps in there, and then them 3 pump everything up to the head station, and that's where everything begins at the wastewater treatment plant. However, upon very first startup, the pumps pumped quite a bit of clean stone. They pretty much everything ran through all these brand new pumps. Filled up our head station. The city had to, we never had our Vector then, we had to hire Cruiser to come in and clean out our head station up there, along with city staff to get inside and shovel hours of clean stone out of our plant. With that, we ended up getting a bill from Gasvoda, and I went in and talked to Bob about it. I don't feel this is our bill at all. I think it either has to come down between Leander, they were the contractor on this job, and we got Fair Graham with a couple correspondence with Fair Graham. They kind of think it's our bill. They kind of come back and say that Loris approved all this. However, I don't, and speaking with Bob and bringing Bob on board with this, I just don't think that the city is responsible for this bill at all.
How much is it, Mark?
Quite a bit. I'll get you guys some paperwork on it. So I just wanted to bring you up to speed. Bob, did I forget anything?
No, I think they mentioned that they thought there was some kind of an agreement, and I said, show us some paper. So, yeah, when it doesn't ever work properly, and you report the factor that's causing the problem immediately.
When we caught it within an hour. We caught it, and Tom and Tony, they were up there at the head station. They're actually the ones that caught it. Tony heard a lot of noise and got up in there and looked and seen all the clean stone coming through. And remind you again, these were brand new pumps. Each pump had to get pulled, taken back, all redone.
You mentioned the pumps never worked properly.
They never did work properly after that. So, and they complained. Tony and Tom, they were adamant about it. Said, we got a lot of debris coming through. It's not getting cut up like they're supposed to.
So did they replace those pumps, Mark?
Never replaced them, just rebuilt them. So they're kind of like a chopper pump is what they're called. And they got like a little intake and things get chopped up as it goes through and then gets transferred up to the plant.
Are they working properly now?
Now they are. So
Being rebuilt, does that make a difference?
Yeah.
On life longevity of something like that?
Pardon?
Being rebuilt like that, does that have a difference on longevity for those pumps? I mean,
That would be a question for Gasvoda. So.
that would be a concern too if we're
Yeah,
not gonna.
warranty on them.
Yeah,
And that's what the Fair Graham is saying. Well, warranty was out when but no, we caught this right away. We caught this within an hour. So the very first startup. So I think we got a pretty good leg to stand on as far as this bill, and I just wanted to bring you up to date on it, and I'm sure Bob will keep you informed of what's going on.
Thank you. Chief Heim?
Nothing right now.
Thank you. We have no speakers from the floor. 23-0813, consent agenda. Need a motion?
Second.
Roll call?
Roby,
aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Fleur,
Aye.
Dagenhart, Bergmeyer, Belkin.
Aye.
All right, new business. 23-0814, discussion and possible action to approve an ordinance for remote participation in the city of East Dubuque. So basically what we have is, we're putting an ordinance into place that will allow for participation in the council meetings for aldermen and, I mean, pretty much everybody at the table here. Okay. The one thing that I wanted to touch base on and let it be known, there's three things that have to be met. The member must notify the clerk of the covered body at least 24 hours before the meeting unless advance notice is impractical. The member must meet one of three described herein why he or she is unable to physically attend the meeting, including either A, that the member cannot attend because of personal illness, injury, or disability. The member cannot attend because, B, the member cannot attend because of employment purposes or due to the business of the city, or C, the member cannot attend because of a family emergency or other emergency. And then the third bullet point, a quorum of the covered body must be physically present at the meeting site. So that's the gist of the ordinance. Is there any questions or discussion on this at all?
This is regarding Bergmeyer, right?
Well, it's something to put in place for, the moving forward for, next week we'll use it for Jeff, but it'll be, an ordinance moving forward, so.
It can be like when you have your need. I make a motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Meyer,
Aye.
Fleur,
Aye.
Dagenhart, Belkin,
Aye.
Roby.
Aye.
All right. 23-0815, discussion and possible action to approve an ordinance for outdoor burning in the city of East Dubuque. We got Joe here. I don't know if you want to just give us
The outdoor burning ordinance was the one that was requested a couple months ago for installing a burn ban when the weather gets to the point that it was, and also recreational fires, because I thought we had one, we talked about one, and obviously it didn't get there. So this is just an ordinance that allows the city to get with me, and we can impart a burn ban when conditions are favorable for that, and also gives the parameters for having a recreational fire in the city.
any questions for Joe?
Yeah, Joe, and there's no burning anything on the streets, right?
No, there shouldn't be. That's not in that ordinance. That's just, that ordinance just, yeah, that ordinance just gives the ability to put the burn ban in place. So it gives the parameters for having a outdoor recreational fire, the number of feet away from buildings and the size.
Second?
I'll
Second.
second.
Roll call?
Fleur,
Aye.
Dagenhart,
Aye.
Belkin,
Aye.
Roby,
Aye.
and Meyer.
23-0816, discussion and possible action to approve an ordinance for hazardous materials regulations in the city of East Dubuque.
This one was based on when we're going to be going through our ISO inspection coming up. And one of the things that they look at was hazardous materials, fire lanes, grills on rental or apartment buildings and things like that. This was one of the ones that they look at. It's something that we probably should have had in place a long time ago. It just gives the city the authority that if there's a hazardous material spill, that it can be, one, billed, and two, cleaned up appropriately.
Any other questions or discussion on this? If not, can I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Dagenhart,
Aye.
Belkin,
Aye.
Roby,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
and Fleur.
Aye.
23-0817, discussion and possible action to approve an ordinance, fire zone, fire lanes, and the like in the city of East Dubuque.
Again, this is another one that came up when we were looking at stuff that the city probably should have, that the city can institute fire lanes and fire zones in building occupancies when they come and apply for permits and things like that. And that gives the city, I believe it gives the city manager the permission to do that.
Any further discussion or questions?
Second.
Roll call?
Belkin,
Aye.
Roby,
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
23-0818, discussion and possible action to approve rescheduling of October city council meetings to the second and fourth Monday in the city of East Dubuque. Just need a motion.
Make a motion.
Roll call?
Roby,
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Dagenhart. Belkin.
Aye.
23-0819, discussion and possible action to approve Knights of Columbus to hold annual Tootsie Roll Drive on Friday, September 22nd, from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m., and Saturday, September 23rd, from 8 a.m. till 12 p.m. at Wisconsin Avenue and Cincinnati Avenue intersection in the city of East Dubuque.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call?
Meyer.
Aye.
Fleur.
Aye.
Dagenhart. Belkin.
Aye.
And Roby.
Aye.
23-0820, discussion and possible action to appoint Jesse Hosh to the zoning board in the city of East Dubuque.
Second.
Roll call?
Fleur.
Aye.
Dagenhart. Belkin.
Aye.
Roby.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
23-0821, discussion and possible action to accept the resignation of David Kale from the East Dubuque Zoning Board in the city of East Dubuque.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Dagenhart. Belkin.
Aye.
Roby.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
And Fleur.
Aye.
23-0822, presentation of the Joe Davies County Comprehensive Plan update with Diane Gallagher.
Thank you very much for allowing me to come, and thank you very special for completing the survey that all of you have answered. That's really what I came to ask you to do, and also to ask you to attend a meeting here in East Dubuque in the high school on Wednesday, September 13th in the cafeteria. That meeting that will go from 5 to 6:30 will be organized by our consultants, MSA, and what they're doing is taking a look at the plan we currently have, taking the input from the surveys and also the verbal input during meetings to look at land use, to look at future growth plans. And this is a way that our zoning board and our ordinances try to coordinate what the vision and goals are for the county. So thank you very much for doing that. And thank you for publicizing it by putting the meeting poster out front. I did bring along a couple of books that are a little bit going to be outdated. A new one will be printed soon, but if anybody doesn't have a county reference book, I'd be glad to share that with you. And I think I know everybody but Bob, but Bob, you know that it's a hard, tough job to update a comprehensive plan. So that was my role with the Tootsie Rolls, that it's a sweet job, but it's a little tough sometimes. Any questions?
You get a good turnout.
Well, I hope so, because as your Dunleith Township representative, I'm very interested in the economic development growth end. And we have an economic director, David Schmidt, and a zoning administrator, Christina Tranel, that are young enough to know that it's very important to appease and attract young people. So we're looking at jobs, housing, childcare, and we need the help of the local communities because the comprehensive plan wants to encourage growth close to the communities within your contiguous area. So what you plan for growth, the county needs to be aware of so that they, in turn, direct people your way. Thank you.
Thanks, Diane.
Diane.
Twenty-three 823. Motion to adjourn. Roll call.
Belkin,
Aye.
Roby,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Fleur, and Dagenhart.
Thank you all for coming.
Nice meeting, half hour.
Wow, that was quick.
Terry always told me, said one thing bigger is just keep them moving.
Yeah. You really kept it moving today. Very organized.
I got enough, thank you.
All right. Well, Ben, nice to see you. I'm glad you got to see me, Keep her in the holster, keep her dry. Yes, sir.
We had one of them.
He's my brother.
Right across that one that was getting remodeled, kitty corner from Big Old's house.
Yeah.